Hello and welcome to this demonstration or walkthrough basically of a meditation that I like to teach people, but I also use myself quite a lot. Now, very often people think that meditation is you have to sit on the floor cross-legged, in a posture that's actually quite unnatural for most people, and you don't really need to do that. Meditation is actually about sitting in a comfortable position that you feel relaxed in, that you can be aware of your body, your breathing, that you're not distracted by too many things going on around you. And it doesn't really matter whether you're lying down, whether you're sitting in an upright chair or a reclining chair, or that you happen to sit in a cross-legged position on the floor. It doesn't really matter where you are as long as you feel comfortable and relaxed. Ideally, you don't want to be slouched. You want to be able to have a posture that is upright or straight if you're lying down, something that you feel it doesn't give you any pain, doesn't give you any physical distraction in whatever position that you choose. Another misconception about meditation, I feel, the feedback that I get from a lot of people is that they kind of have this impression that they need to clear their mind. And that's, in my opinion, that's actually not really correct, because you want to be able to calm your mind down. You want to be able to get rid of or quieten the distractions that are possibly going on, thoughts that you're thinking about, things that you may have to do, or something that you remember from yesterday, or somebody said something to you yesterday, and you have to remind yourself of it, or something that you might have to do today or after the meditation or later on. It's those things are going to keep coming into our brain, into our mind, because that is the way we live, that this is natural. And unless you meditate can get into a meditative state quite easily, those things are going to keep distracting you. So I just visualize, let those thoughts come in, and then just sort of mentally say, okay, I don't need to deal with this now. I can deal with that later on. And then, without really thinking too much or focusing on something, then just let that thought drift away. Some people like to see it as a cloud, that it sort of just gently moves away. And I very much like to use the elements, fire, air, earth and water, whichever one you are. I'm an air sign, so I can actually relate quite well, although I tend to work with all the elements, but I work quite well with the air sign. So what do I mean by that? Well, I imagine myself sitting in a quiet place, typically outside, just use a bit of visualization that I'm actually sitting down, relaxing, and any thoughts that come into my mind, the wind is going to take them away. Okay, so if you're a water sign, you could be sitting near water, a stream, a fountain, wherever you might feel comfortable, and the water is taking those thoughts away. So and likewise with earth, and likewise with fire. So use those, because you're already in tune with that particular element, and use that element to help you through your meditation as you start off. And so once you have sat quietly, maybe for 30 seconds, maybe for a minute, or however long you feel that you are comfortable to actually start a meditation, this is the right time. This is the right time for you to start thinking about something, to start actually meditating and focusing on something other than all the distractions that are going on around. So typically most meditation is actually thinking about yourself. It's a self-awareness. So first of all, you need to really, the easiest thing really to do is to focus on your breathing, because you breathe naturally, but we do it unconsciously. It's an unconscious competence level. Our body just breathes. But if we just become very aware of our breathing, it helps us to focus on something. And so to start meditation, just breathe. Just become very aware. Focus on how your chest moves, how the air is going in and out of your lungs, how the air is actually, how you're inhaling and exhaling through your mouth or your nose. And just become aware of how you're breathing. How fast are you breathing? How deep are you breathing? And sometimes throughout our lives we have shallow breath, because our diaphragm, which is part of our near the bottom of our rib cage, we're sort of not, it's tense, and so we have a shallow breathing technique. We may not even be aware of it. And ideally, in order to relax, we need to relax that diaphragm. And you hear people saying that you breathe from your stomach, or you breathe from your solar plexus. And so, you can actually practice that. And once you become aware of your breathing, you can relax that diaphragm. Relax your chest muscles. And relax your stomach muscles. And then you find that you naturally start to breathe deeper. And that's what it means to breathe deeper, is you're breathing from your solar plexus, your belly button area, your gut, from your torso. So you're relaxing that diaphragm, and you're allowing your lungs to sort of expand and move that part of your torso. So you can almost take an extra breath in just to see how much volume of air you can actually take into your body. And you may notice that you become more aware of the amount of air that you're taking in. And you then learn, because you're becoming very aware and in tune with your breathing, the rhythm of your breathing, in and out, and in and out. You then begin to become aware that you're actually, normally in everyday life, your breathing is quite shallow in comparison. But this technique alone will help you to not only relax, and continue to just keep focusing on your breathing, but it helps you to not be distracted by other thoughts. Moving on from the breathing, what you can do next is you get into the rhythm of your breathing, and then you may or may not notice your heartbeat while you're doing that, because your body is relaxing more and more. And while you are breathing and your torso, your solar plexus is relaxing, your chest is relaxing, you can then start to move that relaxed feeling, that lack of tension throughout the rest of your body. And so you can move, you could actually start focusing on your neck muscles and your eyes and your head and your jaw, and then your neck. And so you just keep that rhythm of breathing going, but at the same time you're just inhaling and exhaling and allowing yourself to relax. And then down to your shoulders. And as your chest is already relaxed, you can then start focusing on your arms. And just allow the breathing rhythm and that whole feeling of relaxation to move down to your arms and down to your hands and fingers. And then while you're still focusing on your breathing and that relaxing feeling around your solar plexus area, around your torso, you can then move down to your back, your hips, your lower abdomen area, your thighs, your knees, your shins, moving further down, relaxing. With every breath in and out, you're going to take that feeling of relaxation with you down to your ankles and to your feet. Now the process, although I'm talking this through, it may not be that quick for you, so you don't need to rush. And one of the good things about meditation is that you give yourself the time and the space to go through this process. Now this process, the more you do it, the more you become familiar with what you're doing, and you're just kind of training your body to get into that meditative state and that relaxed state. You tend to find that you can do it really, really quickly. You may be able to do it within a minute, you may be able to do it within 2 minutes. But when you're starting off, it may take you 5 minutes, it may take you 10 minutes. So the best thing is to just practice and use just this as the relaxation technique before you start to meditate. And while you're focusing on your breathing still, you can then become aware of your whole body and the state that it's in. And anything that is still feeling tense and not relaxed, you can focus on that particular area and just help it to relax in rhythm with your breathing. In and out. In and out. So that's basically the simplest technique for helping you to center yourself, to help you relax your body and to get into it's like the pre-prep before the actual meditation stage, as it were. So the next step will be, what do you meditate on?